first of all, thank you everybody. So we've got a lot of people join us and send us messages about the webinar and their love for Bimal Ji. So we are very happy to have you all on board today for our webinar. And today's webinar is going to be about how to simplify HSN or SAC code classifications. And in this webinar, we are also Bimal Ji is going to highlight about the recent update about trade facilitation as well. So a special portion has been allotted for talking about it and highlighting it. So the whole purpose of conducting this kind of a webinar is for everybody. If you are a beginner or if you would like to understand everything about GST in depth, then we've got Bimal ji, our expert here, to address that. And at the same time, we also want you to stay updated on what is coming in and what are the recent updates that the GST Council is bringing in. So that way, you also learn the basics and you also stay up to date. So this is the whole purpose of this webinar, and we have been doing webinars with Bimal ji for months now, and we've got great response from you all, and all credits to Bimal ji. So now, before I begin on giving a intro about Bimal ji, most of you would have joined the webinar because of the love that you have for him and also to learn a lot from him. But there will be a few of you who might not have known him, or this might be your first time into this webinar. So for all of you, I would like to give a brief intro of CA Bimal Jain. CA Bimal Jain is a member of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India since May 1994 and member of Institute of Company Secretaries of India since December 2006, along with a bachelor's degree in law. He is a qualified SAP FICO consultant and has more than 21 years of experience in indirect taxation and specializes in all aspects of GST, VAT, service tax, CST, central excise, customs, foreign trade policy, special economic zone, EOU, export import laws. He has working experience of more than 18 years in renowned companies like LG, Honda Motorcycle, Hindustan Development, Titan, and he is the executive director of A to Z Tax Corp LLP, a boutique indirect tax firm currently. And he's also he's got many laurels and awards as well. So to point out a few, he is a keynote speaker at Guinness World Record made by ICSI in largest taxation lesson on GST, attended by 4,500 plus participants, breaking earlier record of Japan. Business Leader Award from Amity School, Noida. Best Speaker Award from NIRC ICAI and ICWAI. Young Achievers Award at Igniting Minds 2015. Best Participant Award in MSOP 117th batch of ICSI. So currently, he is the chairman of Indirect Tax Committee of the PhD Chamber of Commerce, chairman of Corporate Advisory Committee of IPEM Group of Institutions, member of Indirect Tax Committee of ASOCHAM and FICCI, special invitee of Indirect Tax Committee of ICI and ICSI, member of Eminent Facilities in Indirect Tax Committee of ICI, ICSI, and ICMA. So throughout the webinar, we're going to have Bimal ji interact with you. And for that, you can use the chat option that's there towards the left-hand side of your screen. And you will also have, if you have any questions that you want to ask Bimal ji, please put it out in the questions tab so that towards the end of the webinar, we can pick it up quickly and select few questions Bimal ji will be able to answer. Now, hearty welcome to Bimal ji, and the session is handed over to you.
At the outset, let me thank each one of you who are joining today's webinar. And today's webinar is twofold. In first part of my webinar today, I'm going to discuss some of the important recommendation as made in 47 GST Council meeting. And then second topic of the day would be how to classify goods or services and their corresponding HSN and SSC code. What is the way forward? So we are going to discuss these two components today. Having said that, it is very important that we really take down the brief pointers, whatever I deliver in my topic, requesting once again, maybe you can have a piece of paper or pen or pencil ready with you, and then you may note down some of the important points. During the webinar, I would be expecting from each one of you that you would be answering also some of my queries so that we can have participation from both sides, and it would be interactive from both of us together. So let's start today's webinar. As you know that GST Council has made lot many important recommendation in the 47 GST Council meeting. And I'm just picking up some of the important and the very talked about important changes effective from 18 July 2022. Recently, the first one. As you know that renting of residential immovable property is talked about at length. So let's listen this first topic. I will provide you the clarity. I will answer your queries as well, and you can continue to be, answering in the chat box. Hope I'm audible to all of you, because some of the, participants are saying that you are not audible. If you can say yes in the chat box, that will make my task easy to proceed further. Am I audible to all? Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So those who are not being able to hear, they can check their own internet connections. Now, let's start with. Prior to 18 July 2022, there was specific exemption. An exemption was when services provided by way of renting of residential dwelling unit used as a residence. So please bear in mind that prior to 18 July 2022, there was specific exemption of what? Renting of residential dwelling unit used as a residence. So what is the change which has come from 18 July 2022 onwards? That we need to understand. Now what government has done, they have amended Service Exemption Notification 12/2017, and they have also inserted a specific entry in reverse charge method, Service RCM Notification 13/2017. Now what they have done, listen very carefully, and today I want each one of you should not go back with any doubt and dispute in your mind. I will try my best. Please listen one and each word whatever I'm saying in this webinar. They are saying, and what is the change from 18 July 2022 age? Any person who is providing services by way of renting of residential dwelling used as a residence, used for residential purpose, except when it is being provided to the registered person. When it is provided to the registered person, then what are the clarity emerging out of it? And you need to answer to me as well. Even prior to 18 July 2022, commercial renting of commercial property for commercial purpose was taxable or not taxable. So you can say yes, taxable, and no, it was not taxable, so that we can go align together. Even prior to 18 July 2022, it was taxable. And it will continue to be taxable even after 18 July 2022. So for commercial, there's no dispute. For renting of commercial property for commercial purpose was taxable and continue to be taxable. So what is the change? changed from 18 July 2022, it's any person who happened to be a landlord. And landlord can be registered or unregistered. So word use any person who is providing services by way of renting of residential dwelling to a registered person. So if it is given to registered person, now this is going to be taxable. But if it is given to unregistered person, so any person giving renting of residential dwelling unit used as a residence to unregistered person, please tell me, taxable or exempted? It was exempted before. What happened after 18 July 2022? Exempted or taxable? It too is exempted, right? Rightly, everyone is answering well. So what is now taxable? If it is let out to a registered person. Now this is the hue and cry in the market. And who could be registered person, by the way? Registered person means as per GST law. This registered person terminology need to drawn from the GST law. Registered person means who is registered under section 25. And under section 25, it is being stated who is liable to registered under section 22 because of threshold amount exceeding threshold amount 20 lakh rupees, or who is liable for compulsory registration under section 24. So this renting of residential dwelling, even though used for residence, is now going to be taxable when it is being provided to registered person, means registered tenant. Registered tenant. And this registered person can be individual, firm, company. So it is not only corporate leasing, it is to any registered person. So second question is very, very clear that landlord can be registered or unregistered. And he is letting out his residential property for residential purpose to a registered person is now taxable from 18 July 2022. If it is taxable, next question will come. It is under forward charge or reverse charge. So landlord is going to charge GST under forward charge method, or it is under reverse charge method. Reverse charge means the registered person, the registered tenant need to pay the GST liability. So before I am asking this question, my lot of friends started answering in a chat box. It is now RCM, reverse charge method. Recipient need to pay GST. So this is now the new change from 18 July 2022. Now there are certain questions which is being asked and which is we are getting in WhatsApp messages throughout India. You would also be getting a lot of messages in your WhatsApp group. What are those messages and what are those queries pertaining to this topic? Point number one, for commercial, it was taxable, continue to be taxable. For residential, by a landlord to unregistered person, continue to be exempted. It is now taxable only when it is being let out to registered person, and that too under reverse charge method. These parts are clear. The first, I would like to take some of test and want to check that whether we have really got this matter properly. Now under GST, there's a registration criteria, right? So landlord is providing this service. So I'm just posting some query, try to answer in a chat box. If landlord is letting out commercial property and his threshold aggregate turnover is 15 lakh rupees, 15 lakh rupees, tell me whether he is required to take registration. Even though commercial property is taxable, he need not require because below the threshold amount. Below the threshold amount. Now, second question. This landlord is having only residential property, nothing else. But now he's letting out to a registered person, and his aggregate turnover is 50 lakh rupees, 50. Whether this landlord is required to take registration, say yes and no in a chat box. So I'm just checking out your chat box. A lot of you are saying yes, a lot of you are saying no, and answer is this landlord need not require to take registration. Need not required. He is exempted under section 23 subsection 2 of CGST Act by notification number 5/2017 Central Taxes. So even though landlord having aggregate turnover more than 20 lakh rupees and he's letting out only residential property to a registered person, he need not require to take registration. Because in this case, recipient is liable for RCM liability, reverse charge liability. And I've quoted the notification 5/2017 Central Taxes. So this part is also clear. Now, one last component which is left out with a credit in the hands of recipient who is a registered tenant is available or not available. Say yes or no in a chat box. Yes and no in a chat box with a credit available. If I go back to GST law and check the definition of input service, and capital goods, these terms are widely used and they have given the reference when it is used in the course or furtherance of business. Credit is available. Only problem and rider is under section 17 subsection 5 clause G of CGST Act. If any goods and services are being used for personal consumption, then credit is being denied. So I'm only apprehending that tomorrow department may say that this is used for residential purpose, it is personal consumption, hence we will not give you the credit. But listen very carefully. When company is taking certain property, residential property, for residence of their employee concerned, director, CEO, CFO, any employee, and they are charging such rent into their PL account, debit side of PL account, because they are treating the same as in the course of furtherance of business. Question is, why this credit will not be available? And to my mind, it cannot be considered as a personal consumption for the reason, if I'm an employer, I need to ensure that these properties are made available for my employee concerned to stay for the operation, for the business, for the sustainability of my business. Credits should be available. So this is the first part of renting of a residential dwelling unit. Having said that, moving to the second topic, important one, pre-packaged and labeled commodities. What was in the background? In the background, when it is unbranded or branded, where right has been forgone, these were exempted. But what is the change now being made from 18 July 2022? Very important. Now they are saying, Bimal, this exemption would be available only when it is other than pre-packaged and labeled commodities. So prior to 18 July 2022, it was unbranded or branded where right has been forgone by the brand owner. These were exempted, and this concept is now being done away, completely done away. There's no concept of branded or unbranded now from 18 July 2022. What is continue to be exempted? If it is other than pre-packaged and labeled commodities. So meaning of pre-packaged and labeled commodities becomes important. Listen very carefully. Pre-packaged commodities is being defined in that goods exemption notification in explanation, and it is stated pre-packaged commodities means as defined under Legal Metrology Act and rules made thereunder. Pre-packaged commodities means the package in which commodities are pre-packed or label is being sealed or affixed thereto. Label is being sealed, affixed thereto, and declaration on such package is required in terms of Legal Metrology Act and rules made thereunder. So this is the definition they have picked up in that goods exemption notification 2/2017. What is the meaning of pre-packaged commodities? And now this is being defined under Legal Metrology Act under section 2 subsection L. And how it is being defined? Pre-packaged commodities means commodities without presence of purchaser. It's packed. Without presence of purchaser, it's packed. Whatever nature, whether sealed or not, and that is the way it is determining predetermined quantity which is being packed in that particular package. This is the definition under section 2 subsection L of Legal Metrology Act. So what is the theme coming out? What is going to be taxable from 18 July 2022? First of all, it needs to be pre-packaged commodity. And second, there is declaration required in terms of Legal Metrology Act and rules made thereunder. So when I go back to section 18, read with rule 3 and rule 6 of Legal Metrology Packaged Commodities Rule 2011, it is being stated for declaration for the retail pack, for retail sale to individual or group of individual. And what kind of declaration required? Name and address of the manufacturer, name of the commodity, quantity therein, month and year of manufacturer, sell price, retail sell price, etc. These are the declaration required. Hence, any pre-packaged commodity required to have declaration as per Legal Metrology Act and rules made thereunder now liable for GST. And what are the item which is being affected? For your information, chapter 1 to chapter 21. Chapter 1 to chapter 21 of tariff, that we got goods rate notification 1/2017. Kindly check this chapter 1 to chapter 21 item where these changes are being made. Now, what is the exclusion part? When GST exempted or GST not leviable? First, they have said GST not leviable when package is more than 25 kg or 25 liter. First clarity. If package is more than 25 kg or 25 liter, GST not leviable, exempted. Now here some questions are. First question, and which is you must try to answer, and I would be looking for the answer in a chat box. And these are being clarified by way of frequently asked question. So government is doing their part and clarifying, but still dispute, and doubt. So I'm going to have repeat fire question, and you must answer in repeat fire way so that I can see in a chat box. If that package is up to 25 kg or 25 liter, taxable or not? Say yes and no in a chat box so that clarity is there with all of us together. Taxable or not? Up to 25 kg or 25 liter, taxable. Sunil Thakur saying not. Up to 25 kg or 25 liter, taxable. Only when it is more than, only when it is more than 25 kg or 25 liter, taxable or not taxable? Tell me. So more than, it is excluded. More than, it is excluded. Now, one example which is being picked up in frequently asked question. There is a wholesale package. And in that package, I'm inserting specified number of retail pack of 1 kg, 2 kg, 5 kg, 10 kg. So wholesale package is being made which contain more than specified number, and that specified number is 10 or more. So a packet containing 10 or more retail pack, and then it is being sold. You please give me the answer. GST leviable, yes or no? Please, yes and no. So I'm putting these questions as clarified in FAQ. Okay, all right. So most of you are giving good answer. Yes, it is taxable. Third question, that being manufacturer, I'm selling the package of, let's say, up to 25 kg, then it is taxable, right? And distributor in turn selling the same package to the dealer, taxable. So manufacturer, distributor, dealer are selling wholesale package of 25 kg, which is taxable. But what retailer is doing, retailer is opening up this package and selling in luge. So retailer opening this package and selling in luge, khusra. Please tell me, in the hands of retailer, GST leviable, yes or no? Answer is no. Well done. But there would be cascading. There would be cascading because GST charged by manufacturer, distributor, and dealer. If it is sold in luge, then that credit will not be available to the retailer. This aspect need to be understood. And now here another aspect which is very important, which is not discussed anywhere. Now this GST was exempted on unbranded or branded where right has been forgone. So they were not getting any credit because being exempted. So what was the credit? Like on packing material, lot of stuff, lot of items, they were not getting credit because their output was exempted. Now this is made taxable at the rate of 5%. So now that the credit mechanism has started in this particular item which we are referring to, what is being expected from the manufacturer to distributor to the dealer is, now since it is taxable and it is passed on credit until it passed on to the consumer, then whatever credit was not available prior to 18 July 2022, like packing material, which is now made available, to that extent, they must reduce the price. There should not be anti-profiteering. Please bear in your mind. This credit was not available, now made available because taxable, then they must pass on commensurating benefit in the pricing to the consumer. Otherwise, this is a case of anti-profiteering. Please bear in your mind. Okay. Take next example now. A rice miller is now, packaging rice of 20 kg. He's required to make declaration under Legal Metrology Act, but he is not making any declaration. I'm only giving the example. So he's packaging of 20 kg rice. He is otherwise required to make declaration, but he's not making declaration and saying, since I'm not making any declaration, I need not require to pay GST. What is your view? Whether GST leviable, say yes and no in a chat box. Please tell me in a chat box whether leviable. Yes, because he's required to make an GST leviable, rightly said. And now what are the exclusion part? They are specifically saying, Bimal, when it is being sold to industrial or institutional buyer, consumer, whether it is less than 25 kg or more than 25 kg, does not make any difference. If it is being sold to industrial or institutional buyer or consumer, then GST taxable, leviable or not, or exempted? Please tell me. Chat box. I'm still open with the chat box. Then GST not leviable. It is less than or more than does not make any difference. And who could be industrial or institutional buyer? Maybe big railway, defense, hospital, and they are purchasing in a lot, but they are not selling in a retail market for their own consumption. That's the reason there is a specific exclusion. Having said that, what time it is going to be taxable? So time would be like as per GST law, time of supply provision as per section 12, time to issue invoice as per section 31 need to be followed, and GST to be levied in a supply chain starting from manufacturer, distributor, dealer and retailer. The problem which is being, we all are finding in this particular trade, they may have taxable item, they may have exempted item. If they are selling in luge or more than 25 kg or 25 liter, lot many factors are there. So it has become little cumbersome for all of us together. But for GST perspective, such person can enjoy that not taking registration if aggregate turnover is less than 20 lakh rupees when he is engaged intra and inter. Intra and inter 20 lakh rupees. If it is more than 20 lakh and he is engaged in inter, then registration required. This limit goes up to 40 lakh rupees if he is exclusively engaged in intra-state supply. So up to 40 lakh, no registration. And next option could be composition dealer, up to 1.5 crore. So these are the options available in terms of GST registration and following the compliances. All right. So I've said this part on pre-packaged commodities. Come to the third component. GST on GTA, Goods Transport Agency. What is the provision prior to 18 July 2022? That any GTA, Goods Transport Agency, RCM was applicable, reverse charge method was applicable when GTA was providing services in relation to transportation of goods by road to 7 specified category. And what are those 7 specified category? Factory, society, cooperative society, registered person. Then they have said a partnership firm with a registered or unregistered, 7 specified category in service reverse charge notification 13/2017. And when GTA was not charging, opting for 12% of GST rate, this was the provision for RCM applicable prior to 18 July 2022. Now listen the change. What is the change? And there the really, the difference and change you will find from 18 July 2022. Note down very clearly. No RCM, no reverse charge method in the hands of recipient, 7 specified recipient as prescribed in RCM service notification 13/2017. RCM will not be applicable if GTA is registered and he is opting to charge GST at the rate of 5% without ITC or 12% with ITC when he is raising the tax invoice even to this 7 specified category. So clearly listen, no RCM if GTA, let's assume I'm a GTA, I'm registered and I'm opting for forward charge and rate can be 5% opted without ITC or 12% with ITC in the hands of GTA. Then no RCM in the hands of 7 specified recipient category as per RCM notification. First clarity. First clarity. Hope I'm clear to all of you. RCM going to be applicable when GTA is not registered and opting for forward charge, either 5% or 12%. So second clarity I given to you. Third component here is specific exclusion. They have omitted a particular, exemption was available when GTA was providing the services by way of transportation of goods by road pertaining to single carriage up to 1,500 rupees, that is being omitted from 18 July. And for single consignee, it is 750 rupees. These two specific exemptions are being omitted from 18 July 2022. Now, third component which is being debated at length. And let me put this question to all of you, and you should listen the answer also. I've said when RCM applicable. I've said when RCM not applicable. I've also said what is being omitted from service exemption notification 12/2017. Now, question to all of you: if recipient somehow, let's say, liable for the reverse charge method, recipient liable for reverse charge method for the region that GTA is not registered and not opted for the forward charge, not opted for the forward charge. So recipient, what would be GST rate? 5% or 12%? Write down in chat box, 5% or 12%? Lot of you, 5%. Second question, with the credit available to the recipient who is discharging 5% under reverse charge, with the credit available, say yes and no in a chat box. Yes and no in a chat box. Yes, credit is available. Credit is available to the recipient. No ITC provision applicable only for GTA when he is opting for the 5% under forward charge. Hope I'm clear to all of you. Hope I'm clear. Say yes at once in the chat box so that we are all on same page. All right, well done. Next question. There were disputes in the past whether GTA can opt for both the rate 5% and 12%. Was it open? Whether possible? Answer is now no more. They have to opt either or 5% or 12%. And while raising the tax invoice, they have to declare an Annex 3, which is being prescribed in Services RCM Notification 13/2017. And GTA will specifically say on its tax invoice, I'm registered and I'm opting for forward charge method during this financial year. Now, since this change coming from 18 July 2022, there may be some of the dispute, there may be some of the issue as well. Let's say GTA was opting for 5%, but now he want to move to 12%. And change is happening on 18 July. What is the last date he should opt for it? Please tell me in the chat box. What is the last date for him? And maybe he was following 12%, now want to move to 5%, and that he have to follow throughout. So 16th of August, well done. 16th of August, well done. And for next financial year, 23-24, if he has to opt for it, what is the date? Very well done. Some of guys are very, very smart. Compliment to them. 15th of March, preceding financial year. Yes, 15th of March. Very much clear to all of you. Thank you very much, and I'm appreciating to each one of you. Coming to the fourth topic now. Interest. Whether to be paid on gross tax liability or net tax liability. So let's take an example. July is the tax period for which 3B going to be filed by 20th August, right? So for July month, let's say my liability is 1 lakh rupees and my e-credit ledger is showing 80,000 rupees. So net tax to be paid only 20,000 rupees. And my 3B for the July month due by 20th August. But let's say there is a delay for 5 days, 5-day delay. So question comes, interest to be paid on delayed payment of tax of 20,000 or 1 lakh. Please tell me in the chat box, 20,000 or 1 lakh. 20,000 for July month, for 5 days or for only 5 days. There is no criteria per month. It is not like income tax provision. Only for 5 days you will pay the interest liability. And what is the rate of interest? By the way, you know, but still I'm asking you. Please tell me, what is the rate of interest? 18% or 24%? Please tell me quickly, fast in the chat box. So yes, very good. It is 18%, not 24%. It is 18%. All right. Now the googly bouncer to all of you. I do not know whether you know about it or not. Rule 88B got inserted under CGST rule, and it is clearly saying with retrospective date from July 1, 2017. For the current tax period, interest to be on net tax liability. But what happened? Let's say there was some liability of January, which you missed. Now you're showing liability of January in the month of current tax period, July. And let's assume the similar, the liability was 1 lakh rupees and you were having corresponding credit for January month, 80,000. You're supposed to pay only 20,000 rupees in cash. But the past period liability shown in current tax period, interest to be paid on gross tax liability, 1 lakh, or net tax liability on 20,000. Please tell me in the chat box. So those who are answering net tax liability, please wake up. It's a wake up call. It's a wake up call. They have said now it is going to be on gross tax liability, 1 lakh rupees. Please, it's a wake up call to all of you. So this is what the change we have to read now. And with retrospective date from July 1, 2017. Having said that, next point, sometime we wrongly availed credit, and sometime when we wrongly avail credit, we have not utilized the same and we have utilized the same. Two scenario. So if I have wrongly availed the credit but not utilized, and now I'm reversing such wrongly availed credit, whether interest is leviable, say yes and no in a chat box, say yes and no. Unfortunate part, from retrospective date, July 1, 2017. This is a fortunate part. But if you have utilized the credit, which was wrongly availed, interest is leviable. Please tell me, interest is leviable. Say yes and no. Leviable. And what is the rate of interest, by the way? 18% or 24%? Please tell me, 18% or 24%? Okay, a lot of you are saying it 24, a lot of you are saying 18. My answer to all of you. Though the provision is saying section 50 subsection 3 is saying not exceeding 24%, but there is a specific notification which was issued when this budget proposal, Union Budget Proposal 2022, where this corresponding change was prescribed under section 50 subsection 3. They have said rate of interest would be 18%. That too from July 1, 2017 Only part is it is need to be notified. We all are waiting the same get notified. So rate of interest going to be 18% per annum. Coming to the last topic of the important changes. I'm having two registration under one PIN number. So Bimal Jain under same PAN number having two registration. One in Delhi, one in Tamil Nadu. Now I got some balance, excess cash balance lying in my Delhi registration under CGST and IGST head. And at the same time, I'm having liability in my Tamil Nadu registration. So we were having problem in the past that we have to deposit the money cash in Tamil Nadu registration, pay the liability. Though I was having balance, excess balance in my daily registration, and that too under same PAN number, and we are called as a distinct person, right? Distinct person. Fortunate part, it is now being allowed and notified also. Now we can transfer this excess balance lying in my CGST and IGST e-cash ledger of Delhi from Delhi to Tamil Nadu. That is being allowed and notified. But let me ask connecting question. You got SGST liability in Tamil Nadu. Can you transfer this excess cash balance of Delhi in CGST and IGST to Tamil Nadu e-cash ledger of SGST? Possible? Say yes and no in a chat box. Yes and no in a chat box, please. Tell me, possible or not possible? Not possible. But there's a good mechanism. You first transfer the balance from Delhi to Tamil Nadu in CGST and IGST, and then in Tamil Nadu registration, you do interhead adjustment from CGST. Yes, PMT09. Yes, correct, Anil. Well done. Then we can transfer it. That is how these mechanisms are available. Hope I'm clear to all of you. Clear to all of you. So I'm through with the first part of important discussion, important recommendation, which I say to all of you. Now listen. There's someone, Anand Chowda, is saying, what about ITC? Anand, nothing they have said for ITC. It is only for the e-cash ledger they are referring to. Now let's move to the important aspect which we thought of we would be doing today, and very interesting. Maybe 15-20 minutes. I will exceed my discussion further. So 15-20 minutes, and then we will have question answer session as well. I'm thinking that a lot of you are having so much of energy, writing so much in chat box that makes my task easier, that we are interacting. Without PowerPoint, we are so well versed into each other that is making my task easy. Now, how to classify? Listen, how to classify goods or services. For goods, there is HSN code. And for services, there is SSC code. When GST got started, and we all know that they have said registered person having aggregate turnover up to 1.5 crore, we need not require to mention any HSN code or SSC code, right? Up to 1.5 crore when GST got started. 1.5 crore to 5 crore, it was 2-digit, and more than 5 crore, it was 4-digit. But what is the change they have brought from 1st April 2021? What is the change they have brought from 1st April 2021? They have said, if any registered person whose aggregate turnover in preceding financial year is up to 5 crore, then for B2B supplies, he will declare 4-digit HSN and SSC code. HSN for goods, SSC for services. For B2B supply. If it is B2C, it is optional. It is optional. If such registered person having aggregate turnover more than 5 crore in preceding financial year, then compulsorily, mandatory, we have to quote 6-digit HSN code or SSC code for goods and services respectively, whether it is B2B supply or B2C supply. I hope I'm all clear to all of you and you all are getting my point. For certain specified product like chemical, compulsorily 8-digit, and for export and import, 8-digit. 8-digit need to be mentioned. Now, having said that, from 1st April 2021, we all are following this, compulsory quoting, which I've said to all of you. Now, I just want to take you to the background. When GST was introduced, there was 14th GST Council meeting on 18th and 19th of May 2017. In that meeting also they have said, who have said? GST Council has said, Bimal, you need to follow 4-digit HSN, 4-digit HSN or SSC code. Unless otherwise carved out to 6 or 8-digit. And why I'm discussing all these things? Lot of dispute today in the trade. What would be the classification? What would be the right HSN and SSC code? What would be the rate applicable? Lot of dispute, right? So before I move further, let me ask one question so that you get interest. I'm a supplier. Let's say my product is chargeable at the rate of 18%. You all are my buyer. Assume you all are my buyer, recipient. I'm your supplier. My product is chargeable to 18% GST rate. But somehow I have not followed correctly or misunderstood the classification, or there was some wrong advice given by my tax consultant. I have charged 12%. So 12% I have charged to my recipient, to my buyer, whereas rate should be 18%. My simple question to all of you, the 6% differential rate, 6% differential rate, who is liable to pay? Supplier or recipient? If demand comes, audit comes up, search comes up, seizure comes up, supplier or recipient, it will continue to be on supplier. Continue to be on supplier. You may have some recourse if it is B2B supply. I said you may have some recourse, some options available to you if it is B2B supply. What happens if it is B2C supply? Your consumer is gone. You do not know anyone. Now this liability fall back on supplier, and that would be demanded along with interest and penalty depending on the 73 and 74. 73 is non-fraud cases and 74 is the fraud cases. That's the reason we have to wake up. For B2B supply, okay, so you all are so learned, so let me take another test. If it is B2B supply, let's say there was some invoice of 1819. This invoice was of 1819, where I charged 12%, but I was supposed to charge 18%. Now today on 22nd July 2022, you came to know that my product was chargeable to 18%. Unfortunate part, it is B2B. Now you are raising debit note. You are raising debit note, today's dated 22nd July 2022, right? Today you are raising the debit note pertaining to your invoice of 1819, and for which time limit to avail credit as per section 16 subsection 4, because invoice was raised in 2018-19, right? You are raising debit note only today pertaining to that invoice of 1819, and as per time limit to avail credit as per section 16 subsection 4, then you have rider, right? Please tell me whether your buyer can take credit on the debit note. Please tell me, which is dated today, but for underlying invoice credit available or not available? So a lot of you know and yes, right? And we were thinking this topic is so easy, right? And that's what I got message from some of the participants said this classify HSN SSC is going to be easy one. No way. And answer is credit is available to you. Now there is clear cut delinking of date of your invoice date 1819 and debit note date. And from which date? 1st January 2021. 1st January 2021, there's a corresponding change in section 16, subsection 4. Now your credit going to be driven from the date of debit note independently if it is being issued after 1st January 2021. Hope I'm clear to all of you. But this is what the important aspect, right? Take second question. Let's say my product is 12% chargeable. My product is 12% chargeable. But I have charged 18%. It was 12% taxable, but I have charged 18%. Some mistake on my part, supplier's part. Whether credit can be denied for you, for recipient, for the buyer, because I have charged 6% extra. Whether credit can be denied, say yes and no. It can be denied, say yes and no. For the buyer to avail ITC, my answer is no denial of ITC. No denial of ITC for the buyer, for the recipient, unless a connivance is being proven. Connivance is being proven between supplier and recipient. And what could be the case? Just listen very carefully. As a supplier, I may have enough credit. And as a buyer, as a recipient, you are not having enough credit. You are paying liability through e-cash ledger. We mixed up connivance. And through connivance, we have intentionally made a plan that supplier going to charge 18% as against 12%. So I'm using my credit because I'm having excess credit. Supplier is having excess credit and passing on to you. And then you are taking that said credit because you are paying through e-cash ledger. Now credit is gone to you. So we have made connivance. So that is the point I was telling you. ITC can't be denied unless it is being proven there the connivance between supplier and recipient. Please tell me in the chat box, am I clear to all of you? Am I clear to all of you? So this is the aspect which I wanted to draw for all of you. Great. Okay, perfect. All right. So a lot of you are saying yes, yes, yes. I'm also getting motivated because these are the aspect when you say you're getting it, it is making my task very easy. Now listen, next part. I was on a point that lot of dispute in the market, right? For the classification and for the corresponding rate in the market. We were following 4-digit tariff, HSN and SSC code. But lot of dispute we are getting in, even myself is handling so many cases where department is disputing and they keep on trying, providing clarification. So what I'm telling you, please listen very carefully. In 14 GST Council meeting, GST Council has specifically said, unless it is carved out into 6-digit or 8-digit, we are supposed to follow the 4-digit. But now from 1st April 2021, it is compulsorily 6-digit whether B2B or B2C. If registered person is having aggregate turnover more than 5 crore in preceding financial year. These are the changes. But here important, in case we are having any doubt, there's an explanation Roman 3 and Roman 4. In goods rate notification 1/2017, explanation Roman 3 and Roman 4. In goods rate notification 1/2017, an explanation Roman 3 says tariff item, heading, subheading, and chapter as prescribed for the first schedule of Custom Tariff Act 1975 going to be applicable even for the interpretation of goods rate notification? If there is any doubt, we can go back to tariff item, heading, subheading, and chapter of first schedule of Custom Tariff Act. And Roman 4 says, general rule of interpretation, including section note and chapter note, including explanatory note as applicable to first schedule, shall be applicable, word use shall be applicable, even for the interpretation of goods rate notification. And now why I'm saying all these pointers, whenever you're having some doubt, because when you go back to custom tariff, there are more than 12,000 items. But under goods rate notification, you're not having 12,000 items. And different, like as against 4-digit earlier, prior to 1st April 2021, we were following only 4-digit. Only from 1st April 2021, they have said 6-digit. So in case you are having any doubt on classification, you can really look at explanation Roman 3 and Roman 4. And next, if you do not know what is your correct classification, what is your correct HSN and SSC code, then GST portal, GSTN has given one window. And what is the path of that particular service? Go to GST portal, gst.gov.in. There's a tab coming services, then coming user services, then search HSN. So what is the path I said? Go to GST portal, gst.gov.in, go to services, go to user services, then search HSN. And then the window available to you, you can search either on HSN or SSC code or description of your goods or services. That window is available. So maybe you can use this window for determining. But is there any legal backing? Is there any legal sensitivity that this particular window which is available on GST portal, then what answer I normally get from their side? Bimal ji, it is only facilitation. It is having no legal backing. No legal backing. That is the answer they are giving. And but you can use this particular services for drawing the advantage, getting the clarity. But still we can continue to say, and we can always say there are certain pointers and which are important. What are those pointers? In GST, when you go to specific explanation, when I'm talking about section note, chapter note, and when I'm talking about description, or when I'm talking about tariff item, general rule of interpretation, and I'm asking each one of you, if any parts and accessories, let's say I'm creating one situation, and this I'm facing as on date today. So the ballpoint pen is a finished product. Ballpoint pen is the finished product, and tariff is 9608. 9608. And it was 12% taxable prior to 1st October 2021. Prior to 1st October 2021. From 1st October 2021, it is now 18%. Issue was part and accessories, which is solely and principally used for manufacture of ballpoint pen, going to fall under same tariff heading 9608, which is for ballpoint pen. Please tell me what would be your answer. Same tariff or residue category where 18% leviable and on parts and component. Please tell me what you say. It is same tariff 9608 or a different tariff heading. See, these are section note, chapter note, and that is what it is saying when any parts and accessories solely and principally used for manufacture of any machine, apparatus, equipment, then that is going to fall under the same heading. And when I read the description tariff heading, even parts are included in first schedule of Custom Tariff Act. As I am reading in explanation Roman 3 of goods rate notification, to me it is falling under same 9608 12%. And there are legal jurisprudence that specific over general. Government should not classify in residual category when there is specific category available and there are a specific window available. Even Niryat Mitra app is available. Indian trade portal is available, which is meant for import and export. And they are also saying it is falling under 9608. I'm giving just one example. You may have number of classification dispute in the trade. So I'm of the view it is falling under 9608. And they must classify under same tariff heading with 12% as against demanding 18% on that part and accessories. If it is part and accessories 18% and my final product is 12%, then this will create a structure of inverted duty structure. So there may be some of the players has taken refund of inverted duty structure on plastic item, but a lot of them has not taken refund of inverted duty structure. So what happened? A clarification required. Otherwise, unwanted litigation. That's the point I'm making to all of you. And these are the submission we keep on representing the government for getting clarity. And I must compliment them. They are taking their steps. And they are ice cream parlor, 5% or 18%. They have clarified 5%. So similar kind of clarification may work out. So you may also go back and check your classification with a correct, you're applying correct rate. Now let me take another example and let me take your test now. For goods rate notification, if you want to determine what is the rate applicable for the goods you're supplying, which notification you will look at? Please tell me quickly, fast, without, it is rapid fire, no time. Quickly say 1/2017. For services, tell me which is the rate with rate notification 11/2017. When there is an exemption that you want to check where exemption available for a particular goods, what is the notification number 2/2017. If services are exempt, 12/2017. Reverse charge method, RCM applicable in the hands of recipient. For goods, what is the notification number? Please tell me. For goods, 4/2017. And for services, 13/2017. So these are the basic notification available which you can run through when you're determining. So let me connect with one more question. If certain services falling under reverse charge method, service reverse charge method 13/2017. Like you can take the example of renting of residential dwelling unit to registered person. So we have understood that RCM applicable in the hands of registered person. What is the rate applicable and where from you will come to know what is the GST rate applicable? Please tell me which notification you will look at. Which notification? Don't say the rate to me. From which notification you come to know that 18% leviable? It is 11/2017. So 13/2017 only talks about RCM applicable for specified services under section 9 subsection 3 read by section 5 subsection 3 of IGST Act. 9 subsection 3 CGST Act read with 5 subsection 3 of IGST Act. But for rate, you have to go to the services rate notification. So, all right. So this is what I have conveyed to you, that classification, finding HSN and SSC code, these are very, very important, and we have to really understand that how to classify and what is the way forward to all of you. Coming to the last part. In this 47 GST Council meeting, 47, they have clarified 2-3 things, laudable one. First, E-vehicle, electric vehicle with battery or without battery. There was a contrary advance ruling, but fortunate part, a clarification is being issued that electrical vehicle with battery or without battery pack, GST rate is going to be 5%. Another laudable one, when you are selling the plot, after developing the plot, you are selling the plot. So development, you are leveling the plot and putting drainage system, etc., and then selling the plot as such. With a GST leviable, we were saying in the past, lot many times, that this is neither a supply of goods nor supply of services, falling under Schedule 3. Now being clarified that that is not going to be chargeable to GST, considered as a sale of immovable property. Laudable one. And last and foremost, within 1 hour, it was rapid fire session for all of us together. For me, you were so active throughout. I will definitely take question answer. I will not go away, rest assured, but 1 or 2 minutes. 1 hour was dedicated, full of energy from each one of you. And I put in my all efforts to clarify that what are the important recommendation in 47 GST Council meeting, and those burning topic, important topic I have deliberated, and importantly, you all have answered so well. I seen in your chat box, Mr. Raman Goyal, kindly hold back. You're just copy pasting. It is not good. Please allow me. I said I will take the question answer. So Ramanji is keeping on, copying, pasting, same. This is just bear with me. I can see that you are writing so many things in a chat box. Bear with me so that, let me first sum up and then question answer. Listen very carefully. From last 1 hour, you all are with me. First, I must compliment to each one of you. You are taking out your time. And I've also tried this 1 hour should be worth and useful to all of you. I have tried to give glimpses of recent changes effective from 18 July 2022. I have also tried my best why classification corresponding HSN and SSC code is important for determining the correct rate, so that no dispute tomorrow. So I have tried my best that you have got all the glimpses of this 1 hour session. And I'm sure that you must have enjoyed at least this 1 hour being with me, GST with Bimal Jain. And Zoho Books is taking so much of initiative. I'm coming on their platform, and it is so blessed that we all are interacting and answering each other. So my only last point, which I am supposed to ask before I start question answer, Harsini is not well today, but still she is moderating today's session. I hope you must have enjoyed today's session. You must have got a lot of new insight, lot of new clarity, and for which there was dispute in the trade. I've tried my best from my side. Hope you have enjoyed today. And my only submission to each one of you would be that we are trying. I'm saying we are trying because after all, we are the team. We all are trying our best that we can, walk the talk. GST is supposed to be good and simple tax. Lot of complication today, right? Lot of complication. But believe me, we are trying our best for the hand holding, for providing the clarity. Still doubt exists. I'm putting up my lot of videos, putting Twitter, lot of tweet messages on my Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and lot of videos on my YouTube channel. If you really want to get more and more, dil mange more, you can join on my any social media platform. And of course, you can come back to on Twitter. And today, Zoho Books again, as usual, has announced 5 lucky winners are going to get my latest GST commentary book, Legal Law and Procedure, in 4 volumes, which is 1st July 2022 updated. So that book would be given to the 5 lucky winner. So wish each one of you a great success. Carry on this journey being together and enjoy being together. And thanking each one of you for your compliment in a chat box. This kind of compliment really boost me and motivate me to do better and better. And we have to really do better. What we were before, we have to change today. And what we are today, we have to make more tomorrow. And that is the journey of life. And that's what we have to go together. And GST, I always say, growing stronger together. Growing stronger together. So let's carry on. Thank you very much to each one of you. Handing over to Harshini, to take it forward for the question answer session. Harshini.
Thank you so much, Bimal ji. So there's something that I have to tell you about. All there are, I think. Okay, let me just check. Okay, there are close to 370 people with us now. So there's something that I have to tell you all. When we came up with Bimal ji, and I normally talk to Bimal ji about topic for the webinar a month before, or probably 15, 16 days before. So he said, let's do about this classification. And like people would think it's a very normal easy topic. Why are we talking? Why are we bringing Bimal ji has got a lot more expertise, let's talk more about it. But seeing this kind of questions coming from you on such simple topic itself says a lot about this particular topic. And then later Bimal ji went on to say we have to talk also about the recent update that the GST council had. So he literally allotted the whole session. If you let Bimalji talk, he can literally talk about simplest session of GST for hours together. So he has to compile the GST classification, I mean the SEC code classification, and the latest update that the GST council brought in together for all of you present here to address it. So the whole reason why I'm saying is this collaboration that we have with Bimalji is not just a sake of collaboration, or it's not just because we want to do a webinar. It is more than that. It is more because Bimalji is so involved in imparting knowledge and spreading the word and making people educating people about GST. So that is how this whole webinar has come out for us for this month. And we can again thank you so much for joining us throughout. Even though we take time, you are there, because I know Vimalji keeps all of you in hook. He's always there, engaging with you, interacting with you. That is one part. So he's not going to let you out until you know the concept well. So he's always going to keep you on hook, asking questions, and then making the whole webinar engaging. And for that, I think that's his style. So for that, thank you, Vimalji. The whole webinar was extremely engaging, like I say in every webinar. And as Bimalji said, we're going to have 5 lucky winners. We selected on a random basis, and we send out Bimalji's latest book, 4-volume book, to these lucky winners. So once this webinar gets over, we finalize the winner in a week, and then we send out a personalized email to them, and then they receive the books from their end. So that is the process of the book. And I also get a lot of questions about recording. A webinar recording also we post within a week in the same Twitter or in LinkedIn or wherever we have shared Bimalji's webinar details. In the same thread, you'll also find the recording within a week. So this is about today's update on the
Harshini,
webinar.
we can take
And
the
okay, I
first
think
question
can
of
we
that
take questions,
guy. I
Bimalji, now?
forgot the name. Now he can put it in the chat box. He was saying that repeatedly he was copy pasting. Sorry. Who was that guy? Please, my request to him, he can just post it.
Okay.
What was his name? I forgot his name. If he can post his query in a chat box once again. Was Raman Goyal? Raman, can you just post your query in a chat box now? And
Yeah,
sorry,
it was
that time I
Raman Goyal. Yeah.
stopped you for the region because I was in he's left. Oh, he's there. He's there. Oh, Raman, sorry,
Oh, he's
Raman, you have to
there.
understand, I was in a momentum. Please try to understand that momentum I was never wanted to break. For that reason, I requested you wait. I will definitely take your query. Now, what is your query, Raman, by the way? Your query is, so it is requested you to please answer my query. Credit notes should be in other reversal or taken net of ITC. Now, Raman is asking one question that credit can you post your query once again, detailed part? Raman, there are recent changes in GSTR 3B for disclosures. Other reversal. See, other reversal, there are two components, table 4B and table 4D. Raman, listen very carefully, and everyone listen very carefully. Not an issue, listen very carefully. See, in 3B, GSTR 3B, and this is again, I'm taking time and explaining to all of you for the region that you should not go back with any kind of confusion in your mind. Listen very carefully. Now they have said in GSTR 3B, the mandatorily furnishing. So what they are saying, mandatorily furnishing, first they are saying that in outward supply, you have to now compulsorily mention B2C interstate supply and to the composition dealer. And now very recent change, they are saying those who are liable under section 9 subsection 5, they will make a mention under table 3.1 point Roman 1. But in terms of ITC, there are four subcomponent in table 4. Table 4A talks about first import of goods, import of services, other inward supply subject to RCM, then ISD credit, and then other credit. So what government intention is, they want to cross-check and verify that whatever credit coming in GSTR 2B, it must be matched. It must be matched. That is their objective. So they are saying, Bimal, when you're availing credit, make sure everything you're putting up into these 5 components when credit is being availed. So specific import of goods, import of services, inward supply subject to RCM, ISD, and then other, everything. Then table 4B talks about ITC, which is not available. So table 4B1 and table 4B2. 4B1, they are saying, Bimal, now you have to make a mention of 17 subsection 5 reversal under table 4B1, including rule 42 and rule 43, which is reversal of common ITC. And then in others, 4B2, they are saying what all credit you need to reverse. Now you need to reverse, like even though GSTR 2B auto-populated, but goods are not being received. Section 16, subsection 2, clause B, goods are not received, services are not received. Section 16, subsection 2, clause C, when supplier has not paid the taxes, such reversal need to be done. Earlier 17.5 we were disclosing under table 4D, which is now being done away with. And they are saying it is going to be table 4B1. Please tell me in chat box, at least this aspect is clear. Say yes. Those who are aware of, they can say yes, this is what the change which has come. So it is for others to follow. And why I'm asking all these things, because so that we can align together. Yes, perfect. That is what it is. Right. All right. All right. All right. And now table 4D, they are referring when there is reversal on account of section 16, subsection 4, time limit to avail credit but gone. So other reversal they wanted to have to be shown under that table 4D. So now there's a change, and I will request you, there's one video available, Raman, for you also. There's one video I've created on this particular changes in GSTR 3B. My request to you and to all the participants would be kindly go back to my YouTube channel and watch this video of hardly 10 minutes. It will clarify your doubt. So time is the essence today. That's the reason I'm telling you, but I've given you the flavor that what all changes are being made in GSTR 3B. Raman, kindly say in a chat box that yes, to a certain extent you got it. All right, Raman. So don't take me personally otherwise. Raman, it was not that I wanted to stop you. I only just wanted that time I was having in momentum. You know that when I speak from my heart. So there's no PowerPoint presentation, nothing going in front of me except you guys. You guys are motivated to me. So I always keep on, putting my words, which is coming out from my heart. So that's time I stopped you. There one Satish Pandey, repeatedly, he's also copy pasting and saying that 50 subsection 3, what is the rate of interest? 18% or 24%? I said during my deliberation, but still giving the answer. It should be 18% from July 1, 2017. Only point is that notification is yet to be notified. Though 50 subsection 3 is saying that interest not exceeding up to 24%, but there is specific notification which is being brought through Finance Act 2022 with the budget proposal yet to be notified. So when they have really notified 50 subsection 3, they must also notify this notification when rate is being stated 18% from July 1, 2017. Satish, can you say in a chat box कि आपको answer मिल गया? So I have tried my best, Satish Pandey. Thanks, sir. Now, Hasini, back to you in a question answer box, and you can pick up maybe 5-10 questions, and I will reply those queries. Yep.
Sure, Bimalji. So there are a few questions in the chat box
You can,
itself.
you
There
know,
is
you can
Mr. Ajit Jain.
highlight those
He's
questions. Not an issue. Yeah, please ask.
He has actually posted it in the chat. So Ajit. Okay, so Ajit Jain is asking, is there any
There
change
is
on
change. I
interest
said for
chargeable for
the
gross or
current
net
tax period, it would be
liability?
on net tax liability, Ajit ji. On net tax liability, and I have explained with my example of 1 lakh liability with the 80,000 rupees lying in my e-credit ledger. But for the past period, previous tax period, you are declaring in current tax period, then interest to be levied on gross tax liability, which is 1 lakh rupees. And that is what this changes effective from July 1, 2017. Rule 88B. Please be careful. Next question.
Okay, so there is Mr. Kushal Lodha. I'm projecting his question on the screen. So he is saying that the turnover is less than 5 crore. Goods is sold to unregistered person. Whether
See, they are
HSN is
saying from
mandatory in
1st
GSTR
April
1.
2021, if it is your aggregate turnover is less than 5 crore in preceding financial year, it is optional. It is optional. But now with recent changes, they are saying that we need to compulsorily declare in GSTR1. So corresponding changes and notification yet to be issued. Otherwise, to my mind, notification says optional when you have not captured such HSN code, 4-digit HSN code or SSC code. How you are going to fill up your GSTR1, but they're the rider while filing GSTR1? Kaushal Lodha, I'm sure you have understood
Right,
my point.
Bimalji. So,
Next.
so next question is from Nimish Shah. I'm projecting it on the screen. Renting of residential property given to registered person for using it as registered office, which as of now many
See,
LLP
any
proprietor
residential
company
dwelling
are
unit
using. What
used
is the
for the
impact of
commercial
this?
purpose. See, exemption only prior to 18 July 2022, exemption was residential dwelling unit used for residence. If residential dwelling unit used for the commercial purpose, then you are violating the provision. GST was leviable. So if you are using your residence as your registered office for LLP, proprietor and company, then GST going to be levied. Now the question will come in terms of availing the credit. And for credit, I've given my answer. It is in the course of furtherance of business, credit should be available. So I've given you the explanation, what was before, what is now, and in terms of credit. Nimis, I hope you are clear on this point. Nimis? Yes. Harshini, next please.
Okay, so next we've got Pratik Jain, and I am projecting his question here. Does inter-unit billing or cross charges of services can be
Pratik need
considered by
not be.
GST
I'm not
department under
agreeing that
fake
they can
invoicing?
consider as a fake invoicing when it is happening among distinct person. It can only be a case when you are not providing any services, there is no element of service, but still the cross charge invoice are being raised just to pass on the credit from one state to another state. Please bear in your mind, for cross charge there has to be element of service. Just raising invoice and passing on credit from one registration to another registration, to my mind, to that extent you may have audit, and you may have investigation by the department. It cannot be fake invoicing, at least.
Okay, so I hope Pratik ji, I hope that answered your question. And so we've got next question from Rohit. I'm projecting it here on the screen. Sir, I'm registered GTA and I'm supplying to registered service receiver company. Can I opt for RCM option or I
See
have to
here,
go for
Rohit, for
5% or
you, now they are
12%
saying
forward
you
charge?
are registered GTA, but you're not opting for the forward charge 5% or 12%. You continue to be wanted to be that it should be under RCM liability. Now, whatever changes which is being announced from 18 July 2022, they are saying that if you're declaring that you are registered and you're opting for the forward charge 5% without ITC or 12% with ITC, then no RCM. But if you're not opting for the forward charge for neither 5% or 12%, to my mind, it will continue for RCM liability in the hands of 7 specified service recipient.
Rohit, I hope that answers your question. And so let's move on to the next question. That will be from Mr. Naveen. Naveen is asking if GSTN number is wrongly credited in GSTR1 to some other person,
Naveen, it is
then can it be
possible by
reversed
way of
and
amendment
transferred
in
to actual
subsequent
person?
period. And this amendment under section 37 for GSTR1 is permissible. So any GSTR1 where you have made the mistake, you can always amend the same, and table 9 is important one, and time period available till September of next financial year, which is now going to be 30th November of next financial year when pertaining to any particular financial year. This 30th November yet to be notified, but definitely yes, you can amend your GSTR1 and it can be passed on to the correct person by way of amendment.
Naveen, I hope that answers your question. So next we have Amit Agarwal. He is saying, sir, if someone imports using India Post, will he get ITC credit for GST paid or not? As in my
Amit,
case,
your
double
question is
taxation is
little
arising.
not clear to me what you're referring to with the term use India Post. If someone imports using India Post through courier mode, that's what looks like. Will he get the ITC credit? For credit, there's no bar to my mind. There will not be any bar for availing credit, Amit. But how come it is double taxation? I need to really understand. So this is not the clear to me. So I'm just reserving myself to this aspect. But otherwise, for credit availment, if it is used for taxable outward supply, Amit, there will not be any bottleneck and you will get the credit.
Okay, thank you, Bimalji. I think Amit, that answers your question. And next um, we have a question from Vikas. I'm projecting it on the screen. Dear sir, regarding import GST credit of courier bill of entry is not
That
reflected
is the
on
bill of
GST
entry
portal.
through
How to
which you are
prove to
paying the
GST
payment,
department?
because and that may come under credit mechanism. I said import of goods. Import of goods, certain credit are not auto populated in GSTR 2B, which you can definitely avail provided you are satisfying all the condition, and that bill of entry would be the relevant document through which you have paid the custom duty including IGST component, and IGST credit would be available to you because
Because I hope that answers your question. We have one more question from Ajit Jain. Ajit is asking, I am a transporter and providing service to only registered taxpayer.
so
Then
there
I
is
am exempt
specific,
from
Ajit,
taking GST
when you are
registrations.
transporter and you are providing to a registered person and they are exclusively RCM liability. And I referred when I was discussing renting of residential dwelling unit. If any supplier whose outward supply exclusively for RCM liability, then you need not require to take registration under section 23 subsection 2 of CGST Act, read with the notification number 5/2017 Central Taxes.
Ajit, I hope that answered your question. Let's take the last question for the day, and that will be from Sudhir. Sudhir is asking, asset lost in fire and completed 5 years or 60
So
months.
they're very
Still, we need
smart
to
and
reverse the
important
credit.
question because it has crossed the life usage of that particular asset. And in terms of life usage, nothing is being left out. So there is nothing, no credit left out, but there may be a transaction value on which you are selling that particular asset. So that transaction value may be the taxable value for discharging the GST liability, because higher of two, that is what the term used under Section 18. Kindly refer to that one. So maybe there is no credit left out for that particular asset, but there is a transaction value. And to that extent, GST may be leviable. Please look at.
Okay. Sudhir, I hope that answered your question. And thank you so much. Due to time constraint, we are not able to take a lot of questions. But if you have any questions, you can always, talk to Bimal ji on his social handles, and he'll always be available to help you out. And thank you so much, everybody. We had a great time. And Bimal ji,
Harsini,
again,
it
it
is
was a
great
great
for
session. Thank you
you
so
as well.
much.
You are not well in the morning. You said you're not well, but still you make out today and moderating this session today. So thanking you, thanking Zoho Books, thanking each one of you. See, you're still continuing and sitting with me. 375 still on. It is not like that, question answer session you have gone. Webinar, you're sticking with me. The important aspect, your love and affection. Please, I'm so obliged to each one of you. This much of love and affection is a blessed one. So I really thank to God for getting so much of love and affection. Keep guiding and blessing us to go more and more. And I always say dil mange more. And I will try my best to give whatever best possible from my side. You can always, put your comments, can ask, can watch my videos, the Twitter, you can post your queries. Time permit, definitely I try myself to answer those queries. And we started, poll, etc. also. So poll are also helping all the, fraternity friends to get updated what are the happening. So when you join us on our social media, we can interact together and take it forward. Thanking Zoho Books and Harsini, thanking you because you take out your time and take care of yourself, and thanking each one of you to be part of today's webinar. Once again, thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Bimal ji. We'll see you in the next session. Thank you. Bye.